Hey, RetconRaider here. Today's video is dedicated to the Raiders, the fine folks who help make these videos possible. With special thanks to Revenant, Anerdinwarpaint, Antonio Hernandez, Dragon Matrix 7, Exsellsior, Lima, Nathan Welch Jr., and Valinrook. Thanks for your support, guys. That said, let's get started. And welcome back to the Pathfinder Wrath of the Righteous beta. Freshly patched even. Apparently they fixed a couple of minor issues, most notably one with the merchants. So I've tweaked the settings a bit, and hopefully it should be a bit smoother than last time. Anyway, today we are continuing our march towards Drezen, and I think we're actually in pretty good shape here. We've built up a decent-sized army, we've cleared all of the optional locations we can currently clear. Apparently, Chili Creek and the Conundrum Unsolved require repeat visits. So today, we're just going to finish clearing up this area, knock out these last couple of armies, and then take out that garrison, and open up a new set of events to uncover and locations to explore. I think we might actually be able to wrap up Act 2 before we hit full launch. Fingers crossed. First things first, let's see if we can knock out these elementals. Oof, that would be a costly victory. I'm sure we can do better than that. Alright, air elementals are coming in fast. Let's take them out first. Oh, actually. Very nice. Now, the air elementals. Fantastic. This is going much more smoothly than I thought it would. Okay, let's finish them off. Moving to flank. Ah, I see. So they're durable, but not particularly deadly. It does help that clerics are more durable on a per-unit basis than militia. And there we go. That is a much cleaner victory than the one they proposed. After pacifying the elementals, the soldiers found the remains of a cultist sorcerer in the middle of a broken summoning circle. Despite his apparently outstanding magical power, he was unable to control the raging spirits he had brought into existence. His stiff fingers were still clenching the horrendous flail he used as a weapon. So, XP and an item. Interesting. Tyranny of Mind. This +2 heavy flail can be safely wielded only by non-good characters. Each time the wielder of this weapon lands a hit with it, the enemy has to pass a will savings throw, or become affected by the equivalent of a Dominate Person spell for 1 round. If a good character wields this weapon, they become permanently confused, even after they unequip it. This effect can be removed by Remove Curse. Huh. Okay, well, I mean, that DC is awfully low, but I could theoretically see that being a fun weapon for an evil party, if you happen to have a great weapon wielder. Seems like an ideal fit for someone like Harem. In our case, not so much. But it is worth a decent amount, so that is some good sales fodder. I think we've still got enough action points to take out the garrison, but we'll have to wait another day for the last army down south. Oh, and let's take care of this level up. We get one new spell, and that is quite a selection. I mean, considering that we are not running an evil army, I think we'll go with Scorching Ray. Not much good against certain demons, but a nice, straightforward offense spell. Granted, it's not going to be very strong right now. Our general is only level 2 and has not had an opportunity to build up her spell power yet. But it will still be good for trimming badly damaged units, so that our infantry can focus on more important targets. Okay, I think we're good. Let's knock out that garrison. Oh. Sounds like the UI sound is acting up again. One moment, I'll go take care of that real quick. And there we go. I was hoping that was one of the bugs they'd fixed in the recent patch, but apparently not. Which is fine, as far as bugs go, that one's easy to circumvent. Okay, that's a pretty decisive victory. But again, I feel like we can do that cleaner. Oh yeah, I think we're fine. Two casualties. Let's go ahead and undo that. There we go. So we did slightly better. Not too shabby. The outpost at Villareth Ford, which straddles the West Sellen crossing and is of strategic importance, has been taken. The cultists are destroyed, and the commander's army is able to operate on both sides of the river. Fantastic. We didn't get much right now, aside from being able to cross the river. But eventually, you'll be able to actually build facilities, guard towers, or other similar structures in the spots where these garrisons are standing. You'll notice they also moved our war camp, and that gets us slightly closer to Drezen, which bumps our morale back up. We were starting to flag there. So, bit by bit, we are making progress. That's as far as they can move today. Let's have a quick peek at our recruiting options. Nothing of note there. Okay, let's get our main party back to the war camp. See if anything has transpired in our absence. Oh, nice. Yes, please. Mage armor's still running. I think we're in pretty good shape. Let's see what we've got here. Ah, ghouls. We took out plenty of those back in Canabras, so I do not foresee us having any difficulty here.
Always be ready for the worst.
Can we retreat already?
No. Well, Jeff, we just started. Okay, so these guys are a bit on the tougher side. Let's go heavier. Oh, snap. So the Stalker has evasion. Noted. Nice. That's about halfway down. Darren doesn't have precise shot yet, so I have to keep that in mind when we're taking pot shots with him. Ghouls are immune to slumber, so let's nerf the Stalker.
Into the fray!
Lovely. That AC debuff really worked out for us. Alright, Darren, you've got this. Or not. Whoa. Whoa. Oh my goodness, are you kidding me? That thing destroyed Layla. I mean, she's not dead, but... Jeez.
You've crossed the wrong line.
So yeah, I may have underestimated this ghoul stalker. Lesson learned. Alright guys, come on. There we go. Oh nice, and the paralysis wore off automatically as soon as the fight ended. That's nice. I believe in the previous beta builds, you actually had to manually wait out those debuffs, or waste valuable resources to end them early. Gosh, that's 3 whole gold. Certainly well worth the effort. Though to be fair, that does get us an incremental amount closer to level 7. Oh, hey, here we go. Commander, we caught a suspicious lad on the road. He says he's an ally, and he's desperate to talk to you. Who knows who he really is? The young man before you is trembling from his wounds and exhaustion. His boots are in tatters, and if he had any weapons or armor, he shed them along the way. His clothes are torn, and his hair is wet, like he recently swam across a river. Blood oozes from the wounds on his chest and shoulders, and his skin is cracked and inflamed from the acrid water of the world wound. Commander, the man breathes heavily, and the words emerge as a whisper from his dry throat. My squad, ambushed, beyond the river. Help. Give our guest some water and something for his wounds. The knight's wounds heal with the help of a magic potion. Taking a gulp of water, he catches his breath, snaps to attention, and begins again. Jaeger and Kelly, Hell Knight of the Order of the Godclaw, under the command of Paralictor Regil Durenge. Our squad is under attack by demons far surpassing our number. Without your assistance, we are lost. Hell Knights. They've supported the Crusaders more than once in our battle against the demons. Despite their, Irabeth cringes, a questionable reputation, we cannot abandon our allies in trouble. If they really are our allies, then of course. It's just... Anivia looks Jaeger over closely from head to toe. I kinda think this isn't a knight at all. A real Hell Knight would be skinned alive for losing his infamous black armor. What we see here is a stranger without rank or insignia, who wants us to march to God's nowhere. Kinda smells like a trap to me. Jaeger, who is attacking you? And why can't you handle them on your own? Large creatures that attack from the sky. Some are fighters, others are, at a guess, clerics with dangerous divine magic. They look like stone come to life. Jaeger pauses. Not the way you look, Commander. I am almost certain that they are gargoyles. They fell upon us from the sky while we were setting up camp, and at our most vulnerable, and they caught our forces at partial strength. The Paralictor had dispatched some of our troops as scouting teams. I do love that reactivity. The flying beasts didn't fight us. They just fell on us from the sky, grabbed our fighters, and either took them somewhere or threw them to their deaths. We were unprepared for that. Where's your squad now? Not far from here, beyond the river. It's not far for a single fighter who abandoned his armor and weapons. But we can't get across the river so easily. We'll have to take a detour. Even if we can save anyone, it will seriously delay our offensive on Drezen, and will give the enemy a chance to prepare. What do my companions think? Your companions look at their guests suspiciously. Hell Knights. With allies like them, we've no need for enemies. If it suited them, they'd abandon us to the demons without a second thought. But we're not like them, are we? We have to save them. Looks like a trap to me, but even if he isn't lying, Drezen is our goal. If our offensive is delayed, we won't get another chance to retake the city. The Hell Knights are heartless executioners. Saving people from the claws of demons is a good cause in itself. But these people are doing everything they can to become just like the devils. Shaylin, forgive me, but I fear we should leave the Hell Knights to their fate and continue our offensive on Drezen. Do you recall Prelate Helrun? Shouted Darren from well outside the tent. Well, picture an entire army of soldiers just like him. Do we need allies like that? If they die, I shan't shed a tear. We should help them, but only if they join our forces in return. We could use some fresh blood. Hell Knights? No, not for all the gold in the world. Don't you know what kind of people they are? One minute you're just going about your business, the next you're locked in the stocks and there's a butcher in black armor standing in front of you. I don't know who these knights are, but if there are people suffering out there, then of course we have to help. It's what we came here to do, isn't it? The crow on her shoulder croaks resolutely, supporting her words. What? Nenio blinks a few times, baffled. This question has no scientific significance. What's interesting is how the water in the river poisoned by the world wound will affect this boy. With your permission, I'd like to examine him, or his corpse, in a few days' time. Well, thanks everyone for your input. It was, enlightening. But of course we are not going to turn our backs on potential allies. We'll take the risk and try to help them. I think that was actually pretty close to a 50-50 split, so in essence you really are the tiebreaker. And also the commander, so, you know. Thank you, Commander. Our forces are here. The knight points out the location on your map. The situation is critical. Please, send your reinforcements as soon as possible. I will go ahead and meet you there. Neat. So I guess that's our next big item for the to-do list. Sounds like it might be time-sensitive too, so we won't want to drag our feet. I suppose we should go check in with Thorn as well. I don't think we ever talked to him after we ran into those drow. Oh, also, I think I mentioned it last time, but the Queen Incognito is broken in the current build, unfortunately. It is something that the developers know about. They have indicated they're already fixing it. But sadly, that does mean that we'll have to ignore that for the current series. She's supposed to show up over here, but in the current build, she simply does not, so I guess that's that. Let's go have a chat with Thorn, and then we'll hit the pause button for some quick bookkeeping. We already chatted with Soso, right? Oh, speaking of which, pardon me, Sociel. The elf's pale, beautiful face bears an expression of melancholy detachment. How may I help? I met other elves that look just like Kaylessa. A gloomy shadow crosses his face. He remains silent for a while, then says reluctantly, A few years ago, a sect of demon worshippers was uncovered in Keonan. They were followers of Discari who had been brought together by his priestess, Anamora. Naturally, as soon as the truth was revealed, a hunt for these evil zealots was called. They were all marked with the same brand of darkness as their leader, the wicked Kaylessa. The sect was soon destroyed, but some of the cultists managed to escape. I pursued them in order to eradicate their evil, root and branch. Sighing heavily, his lips curl in an expression of bitterness. It is a great shame that the children of a noble nation have besmirched themselves with this taint, and I would be grateful if this confession were kept between us. Interesting. I feel like there's a slight shift in his overall tone. When we first met, he was a lot more arrogant and closed off. So he's either opening up to us now, or he is trying harder to manipulate us. Anyway, let's hit the pause button real quick. I'll take care of our bookkeeping off screen and get some rest. Might as well top our guys off. We'll be right back. And we are back. Inventory's cleaned, vendor trash trashed, and heroes raring and ready to go. So I suppose we're setting our sights on the reliable Redoubt here. which does appear to be blocked off with another garrison. There's the nameless ruins that Nenio wants to visit too. I think we still have to do a follow-up with her. I don't think we've actually chatted with her since we completed the Grey Garrison. So I'll make sure that's on the list. Oh, goodness, that is not an ideal resolution. Let's hope we can do better than that. Now I'm all nervous. Let's try to block these guys off from our archers. Oof, that's like, what? 2 clerics and 40 infantry lost? Oh, well, cool. Okay. I think we're getting a handle on this. We just had to thin them out. Get out of here. Nobody even likes you. Nice. Heal thyself. Oh, hey. All right. We still got a bit chewed up there, but that's a far cry better than the complete wipe the auto-resolve first pitched. We'll take it, especially since we actually had 0 net losses. Thank goodness. After driving away a swarm of demonic flies, the Crusaders discovered the remains of an unfortunate group of Mendevian knights. Their leader had a baldric with an emblem recognized by one of the soldiers. It was the crest of the infamous fallen knight, Melander Linz. And that, I believe, is our first mutable magic item. That might not actually be the right term for it. Basically, it's a key ingredient to multiple crafting projects that we can take on. We can only choose one, but it does give us some degree of control over exactly what kind of relic that turns into. Though, sadly, we will not actually be able to do that until Act 3, which is beyond the scope of this series. But on the bright side, we still got a breastplate plus 2 as a consolation prize. I might toss that over to So-So. Anyway, let's see if we have enough movement points to reach that other garrison. Oh, this is gonna be close. Nice. Gargoyles. They've actually got a general, too. That's unexpected. Oh, dear. I may have made a mistake going manual on this one. Also, this tree is blocking our movement. And now it's just a battle of attrition, and we do at least have superior numbers. I'm trying to think if we have any way to circumvent that damage reduction, but I don't think we do. So it really is just a slugfest at this point, which we are going to win. It's just a bit slow going. Almost there. Let's do a little damage control. Yeah, okay, so that was a case where we really should have gone with the auto-resolve. Live and learn. More importantly, that clears the way to the reliable Redoubt. Also, we've got a couple of level ups queued. Let's get those knocked out too. There we go. Master of Maneuver. That's the feat that allows you to field more units in a single army, so we can finally tag in those shield bearers who've been waiting patiently on the sidelines. Then we also get a new spell, and I think this one's pretty straightforward. I think we should go for Cure Wounds. Bless is tempting, but I feel like Heroism makes it a bit too redundant. Rimarax. And let's bring the shield bearers over. Where'd these guys come from? I'm not complaining, but they, Was that... Maybe they came with the reward for killing those flies. Weird. Off the top of my head, I believe raiders are slightly weaker infantrymen, but they also have the loot ability, which increases your potential rewards after each fight. We'll just stick with the shield bearers for now. I feel like they might be a bit more useful. The important thing here is to make sure we always have someone babysitting the archers. Those guys are great for long-range assaults, but they are incredibly fragile up close. Alright, let's go check out the Redoubt. Reliable Redoubt. A military outpost built along the walls of the canyons that riddle the world wound. The army who erected it clearly believed that the place offered some safety. Yeah, how'd that work out for you? I guess we're about to find out. Alright, well, given what Jaeger told us and that garrison we had to fight past on the way in, I think we've got a pretty good idea of what we're in for here. Let's get a full set of buffs going.
Together?
Oh, me?
Okay, let's do this. Looks like the Hell Knight continued to fight the gargoyle even from the air. They both fell to the rocks and perished. Unfortunate. Hey, Jaeger. Commander, come here, quickly. From the mountain, you see a raided camp and two groups of warriors, one wearing white and yellow armor, the other in black. They are led by a tall man in white priest's robes. Some of the warriors glance around fretfully, their weapons shaking in their hands. You hear the screams of gargoyles from above. The beasts are approaching the camp.
Quickly, evacuate the wounded. The beasts are about to strike again. Use cloaks as stretchers. We've got to make it through. Paralictor, your people will have to cover us while...
2 more minutes left out in the open, and neither you nor I will have any troops left to order about, Crusader.
But the wounded...
Retreat to shelter.
The one called Paralictor makes a barely noticeable gesture, and the swords of his troops execute the wounded. Oh my. If the man in white has anything further to add, his words are drowned out by the shrieks of gargoyles as they fall from the sky. The Paralictor will lead the unit to shelter. We need to get through to them. Yeah, let's get down there. I think we just soft locked. Give me a second. I'm pretty sure I can fix this. There we go. In the current build, unfortunately, it sometimes gets hung up when it's going from cutscene to turn-based. what was supposed to happen is a swarm of gargoyles descend upon us just as Yeager runs off. How convenient. Here we go.
Into the fray!
Nice, that's one. I think that's a Slayer, so we'll need to be careful.
You've crossed the wrong mongrel.
Well, that's not what I was expecting.
You won't survive me.
Okay, first group's down. That was easy. Let's just hold until this guy's turn passes. And that is why we held. All right. Let's get down there. Group number 2.
Meditate on your
That's another
mistakes.
hunter.
Might make you feel better.
Hi. Well, I'm gonna guess that was your boss. He was apparently a fiendish gargoyle hunter. Not that that did him much good.
Out of my sight!
Not bad. Nice to see the Smilos actually doing some damage every once in a while. But they will get a pretty significant bump once we hit 7.
No glory without risk!
Silly gargoyles. You should have gone for softer targets.
Endure this!
I guess land's done. That's fine, we've got this. Hey, Yaker. Oh. Bastard Sword of Hope. Whenever the wielder of this +2 mithril bastard sword confirms a critical hit with it, it restores 1d8 plus 5 hit points to the wielder. It can be wielded only by lawful good, lawful neutral, or neutral good characters. Interesting. What are the effects of a mithril weapon? I mean, I guess it would be lighter. Does mithril count as silver? The healing effect's not bad, but it is debatable as to whether it would be worth taking an exotic weapon proficiency just so you could use it. The sight before you is at once macabre and picturesque. A lifeless couple, a man and woman dressed in white and yellow priest's robes, lie on the ground surrounded by the bodies of dead gargoyles. They are tangled in death. The claws of the monsters are tearing at the human's clothes, and the largest gargoyle's talon has pierced the man's chest and punctured his heart. But before they died, he or his companion defeated the enemy. Suddenly, the woman opens her eyes. She doesn't look at you, but stares up at the world wound's horrific red and black sky. Her pale lips open, and she exhales abruptly. The sun will never rise again. Even the sky here is cursed, and we along with it. Yaker, walking in the front, steps over the man's body without looking, but turns around at the sound of the woman's voice. The Mendevian faithful break too easily. Oh, if all Mendevian devotees broke easily, I would be much happier. Unfortunately, most of them have good health, unconquerable will, and a never-ending desire to moralize. Darren is jeering, but looks at the wounded woman with hesitation. He shrugs. She is not just wounded. I can see the signs of severe exhaustion. I wonder what happened here. All people are easily broken. The knights in pale armor help each other through the horror, but the knights in black only break each other and everyone around them. You need help. You'll feel better now. The woman pushes you away with a weak gesture. Expend your efforts on someone who can be helped. Leave me. My crusade is over. Who are you? What happened here? I am a priestess of ardent Sarenrae from the Order of the Sunrise Sword. Next to me is Ashes Strieger, the head of our order. Sorrowful pride sounds in the woman's voice. He has led our forces on raids to the Worldwound many times. But this campaign... The gargoyles attacked a few nights ago. A vast number. We've never seen anything like it. Ashes organized our resistance with great skill. But while the monsters were distracting our fighters, a small group of them raided the camp and took our supplies. We were left without food and water in the middle of the Worldwound, where it's nearly impossible to find provisions. We shared the last crumbs of our supplies and set off back the way we came. Everyone was suffering from hunger and thirst. We grew weak and could barely fight back when the gargoyles struck a second time. They snatched many of us away. I saw the pain on Ashes' face as he counted the losses. But he managed to rally us. We continued our trek, and soon came across traces of a recent battle. Someone had destroyed a troop of demon worshippers. In our desperation, we decided to follow the strangers, to warn them of the gargoyles and seek their help, having no idea that they were Hell Knights. But we received only scorn. Every gulp of water in my unit is accounted for, they said. They spared us 2 flasks and a sack of dried bread. They said we were allowed to keep the sack to use as bandages. 2 flasks between all of us. A sack for bandages. Hell Knights. Sela curls her fists, almost grunting through her clenched teeth. I'd rather ally with a flesh-eating poisonous wyvern. Don't expect any goodness from those black tin cans. If you meet them, count yourself lucky if you don't end up nailed to the nearest fence post. A leader has to take care of their own tribe first. All the scandalized gasps. How could he do such a thing? Suddenly fall away when you're first faced with that hard choice. Are you going to take food out of your own child's mouth to feed a starving stranger? What happened after that? The gargoyles attacked. Despite how the Hell Knight Paralictor had treated us, Ashes endeavored to help them, and had us carry their wounded. But that monster had them slaughtered. Ashes was beside himself. It's difficult to conceive of such evil. He told our people to go with the Hell Knights to find shelter, while he stayed to cover our retreat. The woman exhaled softly. He was a strong cleric, but as he treated our wounded, he neglected himself. And he paid for it. Your commander can't be helped, but you're still alive. Allow me to help you and come with us. The woman looks at you wistfully. Why? So many deaths, so many sacrifices, such bravery. All for what? No, I will not go with you, stranger. My commander and I will die by what we lived for. Compassion and nobility. I don't want to keep fighting for a world that bows to such laws. May the goddess forgive me. Farewell. The woman closes her eyes, exhausted. I'm sorry these good people treated you this way. If you don't have the strength to go any further, rest. We will continue your crusade. I promise you. Jaeger shakes his head. Commander, I'm not one to advise you, but you're wasting time on this fool, and the gargoyles will soon be back. That's their usual tactics. Fly up, regroup, attack again. I'm going back to my unit now, and I'll advise you not to stay here long either. Well, that was, grim. Rest in peace, we will remember you. Your sacrifice will not be in vain. Yikes. I mean, obviously it's a rough situation, but you can also kind of see both sides of the story. And while I sympathize with the priests of the Sunset Sword, the Hell Knights weren't wrong. You know, I mean, as the priests themselves admitted, supplies are scarce in the World Wound, and had they rationed them out to both forces, then both forces might have survived, but they would have been working at reduced capacity, which would have made them easier prey for the repeat attacks. You know, same with the wounded. The Hell Knights warned that staying behind would leave them too exposed, but the leaders of the Sunset Sword stayed behind to tend the wounded and died as a result. Which is noble, but also leaves their order now devoid of leadership in a time of crisis. Anyway, we're coming up on time, so I think this makes for a good break point. Let's hit the pause button for now. I will mull over this conundrum, and we'll pick up here next time, as I imagine we'll have to confront the leader of the Hell Knights. It should be interesting. See you then. Oh, and remember, although I do love playing Pathfinder, Wrath of the Righteous. You can find out more about the game by visiting the official website, the official social media feeds, or the official store pages. And if you'd like to help support the channel, then feel free to push the buttons that do the things, or maybe even check out the Patreon. Links are in the description.